watching that type of stuff, watching that water roll in, watching the neighborhoods just being gone, watching whole entire ships being sucked under bridges and having their whole deck cleaned off. Guys, I don't think you would understand unless you were actually in Japan. Sitting here watching this in high def and 1080i on your 60-inch plasma doesn't do this justice, nor would you feel the enormous heart tug of all, every friend you ever had not being there anymore because they all drowned or were crushed by concrete or hit in the head by glass or something. I mean, I'm not saying Americans don't know what an earthquake is, but you see the sheer carnage and the speed of just the loss of life. How many people lost their lives in that snap of a finger? I mean, it's hard to watch when you really stop and think about what you're seeing. Don't look at it as a news article, folks. Don't look at what you're seeing in the news as oh my God, you got to see this video. It's incredible. No, what's incredible is the loss of life. 10,000 souls currently, and it's counting. Trust me. Now they've got reports of bodies washing up that are just showing their appearing places from being pulled out to sea. How many bodies are never going to be found? What's going to happen when this next tsunami rolls in? What's going to happen when another reactor blows its top? What's going to happen when we have 5 or 6 cores exposed and not 1 or 2? Or maybe there already is. There's a lot of speculation already that the stories that are coming out to the Americans and what the Japanese are releasing, at least to the U.S., isn't getting back to us, and it's a lot more grim than they're picturing. And is it believable? Yeah, I believe it. Do you think the government's going to tell you that the whole West Coast is going to have radiation poisoning in the next 48 hours? Do you think they would announce that over a bullhorn? I don't think so. Total chaos, folks. That's what people in Japan are dealing with right now. Total frickin' chaos. And that's why tonight I want to cover, like I said at the top of the hour, we're going to cover some of that. We're going to cover what you need, what to have, what not to have. Those of you planning on getting out of town probably don't want to have a whole bunch of stuff because you can only take what you can carry. Think about it that way. In a situation like they were facing on the coast of Japan, I don't think anything you had laying around short of a freaking big-ass boat, and those didn't even fare well, was going to help anybody. And, folks, if what we're looking at is a nuclear disaster, I don't know. I know I wouldn't want to be around living through a radiation poisoning. I don't think that's the way I want to go. But you could imagine the chaos that would be created by people starting to put 2 and 2 together and everybody's dropping dead and everybody's hair's falling out. That's going to be real hard for FEMA to explain. Everybody stay calm. Yeah. Can it be done that way? Who knows? We'll find out soon enough. They're definitely plugging us for it. I'm expecting the next 2 to 3 days to have some crazy ass. The West Coast is being evacuated. Martial law has been declared, and for your own safety, no one can leave or come in this area. I can just see it now. It's going to be just like watching a Hollywood motion picture, except you're going to be tuned into Fox News. And yeah, you're right, Warlord. It will be a slow death. You're absolutely right. Ask anybody that survived World War II in Japan. Ask their grandchildren. Vash said the winds changed and the coast threat is nil. Yeah, right now. Hopefully. This is my point, folks. And like I said, many of us already know how this works, but I'll say it for the benefit of everybody that doesn't know. They never let a catastrophe go to waste. Who is they? Our government. That's who. The United States government. They love order out of chaos. They thrive on it. They're like Freddy Krueger. They thrive on your fear, which is kind of ironic because people call me a fearmonger. Listen, I'm not trying to make anybody scared. I'm just trying to get you to open your eyes, lift that veil, folks, and look at what the good Lord has put in front of you. You are going to face a decision here, whether you believe it's going to happen, whether you think it'll happen or not. It's going to happen, and you will deal with it. How you deal with it is solely up to you and your maker. But I'm telling you, you're going to have chaos of epic proportions in the United States simply on whatever phone call is made from the Oval Office to the media staff. There ain't nothing else to say after that, because that's how it happens. They're going to call a press conference. They'll do a press release. They'll have all these guys in front of the podium there, and Barack will come out and he'll clear his throat and rub his hand over his half-graying head and start talking about how this is the worst of times and blah, 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 blah. I could just see it. It's like a nightmare. What folks choose to do when whatever happens, true or false, and however they pitch it to us will depend. Everything's going to depend on your sole decision at that point. Will you wait till then to stock your food? Will you wait till then to start bottling water? Do you have any detection devices? I don't. Actually, I do. It needs repair, but nevertheless. Bones. You're silly, man. Folks, I'm telling you, I'm worried about you. And a lot of people say, well, you shouldn't worry so much. You should just worry about you. Well, I do worry, because it's going to take more than me to survive. I'm very, very sure of that. No one man is going to stand against all this and have an effect. It doesn't matter if we're talking about anti-government, anti-politics, or revolution, or battling a natural disaster of any kind. One man standing alone isn't going to make it. If you're not comfortable around people, you better get comfortable around people. You better find people to congregate with, folks, and you better be up on your P's and Q's for storing food and what to eat, what not to eat after that runs out, because that's a worst case scenario. And the problem is all of the worst case scenarios that I could come up with all have the same beginning. No currency, no food. No currency and no food. How is that possible? How is that possible, you ask? Well, let me explain it to you. If you turn on the news tomorrow morning and they tell you that your currency is no longer currency, that we're going to end that currency, and in 3 or 4 days we're going to bring out this new currency, what's going to happen? I think a lot of people are going to go ape shit. I know a lot of the, listen, guys, we got like 100 people, maybe a little less than that in this room right now, just on this show, listen to this show at Blog TV. This is like a little speck of sand of all the people that are feeding on this type of programming, that are out there doing their own research. Those people, no matter, including myself, most likely, no matter what is said by a government official, at this point in the game, we're not going to look at it like a normal sheep would look at it, like a normal, my eyes are closed American and it's all good and I'm going to vote on Tuesday. Those people aren't going to get it. My biggest fear is when this type of stuff starts to happen, the people that are on the side of the people that I'm on, a lot of those people are going to jump right off the bat. Now, I'll tell you, it's just something gives me a bad feeling in my stomach when I start thinking about that. Because actually what the media says about us after that point is really null and void. If we have some type of horrible incident in L.A. or, gosh, what happens if California actually did slide away into the ocean? I mean, could you imagine how long they're going to be talking about that on the news? I mean, after what I've seen the last 3 days in Japan, if I turn the news on tomorrow and I slowly watched California just sink, I'd be like, wow, no shit. And imagine the water that would come into the West Coast, what was left of it after that. This is incredible, folks. For the first time, people are really starting to get what exactly it is. It's just not happening here and there anymore. You're not safe anywhere from the weather. This planet could kill you at any second. especially now these days, right?